I've been talking about the powerful tool art is not only to express our creativity, but also to improve our emotional health. But sometimes we just don't seem to have time for it in our busy lives, or we feel we're not good enough. That's an old one, that negative talk that keeps coming back. So there's no point in even trying to paint. But did you know there are some very quick watercolor paintings you can do only just by setting aside 10 to 15 minutes a day? In today's video, I'm going to show you how. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I am so glad you found me. Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My name is Fiona and this channel is called Drawings in a Drawer. And on here, every Sunday, we discuss everything watercolor and art related, touching on spiritual and mental well-being as well. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, then be sure to click on that notification bell you will see below this video so you won't miss any of my future uploads. And now let's get into today's topic. Every month, me and my community have a theme and we hone our sketching and painting skills, meeting live almost every week to make art together. And this month's theme in April was Botanicals, and I cannot tell you how this has opened up the world of watercolor for me. It's cracked it right open. I truly believe botanicals are the perfect subject for this medium and the subjects that lead to the greatest amount of exploration and understanding of this medium. It's literally a shortcut to getting watercolor. I have since been experimenting with quick paintings in a small Bao Hong sketchbook and in some round postcards by Hannah Muley you will be seeing soon. And all of these paintings, except for the portrait, which obviously took a little bit longer, were done in 10 to 15 minutes, having a ton of fun and walking away with much more knowledge than any other exercise I have ever done has taught me. Sketching on a time limit naturally evolved into painting on a time limit with botanicals over with my community, as the brushstrokes are more suitable, in my opinion, to create the right effect you need to convey the beauty of flowers, plants, seeds. By the way, I'm not 100% sure what falls into the category of botanicals, not even quite sure whether botanicals is the right name. I think the S shouldn't be there, but anyway, I'm sure it's not the portrait. I do know that, so forgive me if there is something in here that shouldn't be. My apologies. When I start painting botanicals, I very often go in and sketch directly with my brush, using a thicker mixture than I usually would, or I paint over a partial sketch, so to speak. I also use this thicker mixture on my bristles, like a pencil, to carve out some nice sharp highlights, which I will be sure to keep bone dry to prevent my paint from contaminating them, because we know that paint will spread where the paper is wet. These will bring so much shine and brightness to your piece, don't forget to leave them out. I then wet my brush and work with what I have on the paper, reactivating the edges of that thicker paint, pulling it around my subject and literally watching magic happen. Firmly pressing the shape of your bristles down onto your paper can more often than not be enough to create the shape of a leaf or petal. Dropping some thicker paint into it can create a natural, organic blending of tones or colours without you having to do all of the work. Practice moving your arm from the elbow. This will make for more confident brush strokes that will allow you to create beautiful strands of grass, stalks, and so much more. You have to learn to trust your impulse, and in itself, that is so freeing, and it's such a huge lesson to learn. Earlier in the video, you saw me paint a row of carrots. I just used my brush with that thick mixture to paint the outline of them and fill them with more diluted and thicker paint to watch the interaction between the two. I then literally scribbled the greenery on the top, almost like cursive writing, and then dropped some water and some darker, thicker paint into it, and the painting was finished in 10 minutes and under, and I felt elevated after it. I felt uplifted, and all it took was 10 minutes out of my day. That is why I don't want you to have to give up on something so magical and healing. This is why I'm showing you how to paint something in 10 minutes. In just a handful of minutes, you can surely find the time for that, because you owe it to yourself, first of all. Let me say this before you all go away. Remember that if you want to join my community with almost weekly live sketching and painting sessions plus all the recorded tutorials, then just check the link in the description box below this video. We would be so happy to have you become part of our family. Now let's get on with it. I came across these stunning round postcards by Hannah Muley, and I was on a roll the minute I started painting on them, and I definitely did not want to stop. I tried to recreate some of the paintings I made in the Bao Hong sketchbook, and again, this was all in one sitting. You cannot imagine how liberating that was for me when I am used to spending hours on end on every painting. I would urge you to try painting those carrots or the radishes or the flowers right now alongside me. I would like to urge you to take out your sketchbook with each and every one of my videos and paint along with me. Make it a habit, turn it into a practice. Just experimenting with the different textures within these subjects, with the different consistencies, is enough to create interest and to make them look alive. And okay, at the end, a portrait did have to find its way into my painting session. You know, these are my favourite subjects to paint. And that has had its pros and cons, because for a very long time, it kept me from experimenting with other things. And I think that if you really want to understand watercolour, it's not enough to paint on one or two subjects. You kind of have to embrace it all. And botanical painting and landscape painting are crucial, because that is where the texture is. That is where the randomness of a brushstroke can completely change your work of art and turn it into something beautiful and, as always, unique. So try and broaden your horizons. Definitely try painting on a time limit. And if you haven't painted botanicals yet, again, sorry if that is not the right word. Don't come for me in the comments. But I think you'd be very satisfied if you gave it a try. So trust me on that one. That is all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next Sunday. Bye for now.